Dear viewers, this is Mushfiqul Fazal. Welcome you all to Hello Excellency. Today we will discuss on USAID activities in Bangladesh. The United States Agency for International Development is one of the largest development partner of Bangladesh. And today is our guest, Mr. Richard Green, the Mission Director, USAID in Dhaka. We have a distinguished guest in the studio as well, Mrs. Dorafshan Chaudhary, former UN official and former government official of Bangladesh. Mrs. Dorafshan Chaudhary, আপনাকে আমাদের হ্যালো এক্সেলেন্সি অনুষ্ঠানে স্বাগত।
ধন্যবাদ। প্রথমে আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আপনাকে এবং এনটিভিকে আমাকে এই সুযোগটা দেওয়ার জন্য।
তো আপনি তো জাতিসংঘের হয়ে দীর্ঘদিন কাজ করেছেন এবং আপনি সম্ভবত প্রথম বাংলাদেশের মহিলা নির্বাহী থানা নির্বাহী কর্মকর্তা, যেটা তৎকালীন বোধহয় উপজেলা নির্বাহী কর্মকর্তা বলা হতো, এখনও তাই বলা হয়। তো আজ থেকে প্রায় ২০ বছর আগে আপনি প্রথম মহিলা হিসেবে উপজেলা নির্বাহী কর্মকর্তার দায়িত্ব পালন করেন। তারপরে আপনি সেখান থেকে জাতিসংঘের কাজে চলে যান। তো আপনার সেই দুই অভিজ্ঞতাটি কি আমাদেরকে একটু সংক্ষিপ্তভাবে আমাদের সঙ্গে একটু শেয়ার করবেন?
সেই ১৯৮৯-৯০ সালে, দীর্ঘ ২০ বছর আগে, সে একটা দারুণ অভিজ্ঞতা। মহিলা হিসেবে উপজেলার দায়িত্ব নিয়ে কাজ করা, উন্নয়ন কাজ, আপনার ল অ্যান্ড অর্ডার সিচুয়েশন, সেটা দেখার কাজ
এবং স্থানীয় সরকার ব্যবস্থাটাকে আপনি খুব কাছাকাছি থেকে দেখেছেন।
স্থানীয় সরকার ব্যবস্থার সাথে তাদের ডেভেলপমেন্ট, তাদের পিপলস পার্টিসিপেশন বা জনগণের অংশগ্রহণের মাধ্যমে জনগণকে সম্পৃক্ত করা দেশের উন্নয়নমূলক কাজের সাথে, সেটা আমার একটা বিরাট চ্যালেঞ্জ ছিল। তারই পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে আমি মূলত ইউএনডিপি, জাতিসংঘ উন্নয়ন কর্মসূচি যেটা বাংলাদেশে আছে, এবং UNCDF, এই দুটি অর্গানাইজেশনে দীর্ঘ ১৭ বছর কাজ করেছি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
উপজেলার পরে তার পরে এসেছি, এবং যেহেতু আমার উপজেলায় কাজ করে একটা অভিজ্ঞতা ছিল স্থানীয় সরকারের সাথে কাজ করার, আমি এখানে এসে সেই স্থানীয় সরকারের প্রোগ্রামটাই প্রচলিত করি। সেই প্রোগ্রাম সাকসেসফুলি শেষ হওয়ার পরে আবার LGSP নামে দ্বিতীয় পর্যায়ের কাজ, UNDP, UNCDF, এবং পরবর্তীতে ওয়ার্ল্ড ব্যাংক, ডেনিডা এবং অন্যান্য ডোনার এজেন্সিও এসে যোগ দেয়। সো স্থানীয় সরকার নিয়ে একটা আলোড়ন বলা যায়।
মিসেস চৌধুরী, আমরা আপনার সঙ্গে আরও আলোচনা করব। তার আগে আমরা দেখে আসব ঢাকায় নিযুক্ত USAID মিশন ডাইরেক্টর মিস্টার রিচার্ড গ্রিনের আলাপচারিতা। তিনি আমাদের সঙ্গে একটি সাক্ষাৎকার পর্বে অংশ নিয়েছিলেন এই অনুষ্ঠানের জন্য। চলুন আমরা দেখে আসি সে অংশটুকু। Dear viewers, Mr. Richard Green, our today's guest. He is the mission director of the United States Agency for International Development. Hello, Excellency. How are you today?
Great, and thank you for having me on.
You saw various parts of the world on behalf of USAID and from the US government. So how do you feel here to serve?
Well, I feel great here. I was here for 5 years in the 1990s, from 1994 to 1999 at USAID. I liked it so much. This was my first choice to come back when I left Washington. So I love it here. This is my second home.
Okay.
And this is my second stint in Bangladesh.
Okay, thank you very much. Excellency, I'd like to know about USAID activities within the United States and other part of the world. Can you explain for our viewers how it does work?
Well, USAID is an independent agency that is part of the State Department foreign policy platform. And we take our foreign policy objectives of the President and of the State Department are critical to how we work. But we are an independent agency focused on civilian development.
Okay.
And we work in maybe 100 countries worldwide. And we implement a whole bunch of development programs, everything from food security, agriculture, health, economic growth, trade, humanitarian assistance, democracy and governance, basic education, whatever needs to be done to partner with countries to develop economically, politically, and socially.
I think around $5 billion US aid assistance we have got from the USAID. So what are the areas currently USAID working in Bangladesh?
Yes, since 1971, and we actually had USAID's 50th anniversary, and we had a small event here to mark it. It was also 40 years of USAID assistance to Bangladesh. And I should inform our viewers that the USAID development program in Bangladesh is part of a larger development program of the U.S. Embassy that involves other U.S. agencies such as Centers for Disease Control and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Department of Justice. So USAID is the largest, but by no means the only U.S. agency here providing development assistance. But in terms of the areas where we work, in 2011, USAID had a program of over $180 million for that year. The biggest area was probably food security, an initiative that we call Feed the Future, which is President Obama's major development assistance, and that is focused on the south and southwest of Bangladesh, and it is for the purpose of improving agricultural production in this area, improving livelihoods of people who live there, to pull people out of poverty, and to improve the nutrition situation, especially among children and women. And our goals in that program, which is the biggest and most important development program that we have, and it's the U.S. government's Feed the Future initiative, is to pull more than 1 million people out of poverty in the south and southwest of Bangladesh. That is one area that we work with. We also have a safety net social protection program of about $45 million in 2011 that provides direct support to over 1 million families in terms of helping them improve their livelihoods, their nutrition, as well as building up community resistance to disasters. That's another program we have, social safety nets. Last year in 2011, we provided about $71 million to support the government of Bangladesh's health service delivery program. And this is principally maternal and child health, where we provided about $27 million, but also $25 million for voluntary family planning and reproductive health, which is very, very important in Bangladesh and directly supports the country's 6th five-year plan. We also have a large program to address tuberculosis and a smaller program to keep the very low rate of HIV/AIDS from expanding, from getting any bigger. So $71 million in health. Another area we have is democracy and governance. And in 2011, we spent around $6–7 million in a variety of democracy and governance programs to improve the functioning of the parliament, to get more women and youth involved in political parties, to work on governance and transparency, to build up accountability organizations like the Right to Information organization and the Anti-Corruption Commission, to work to improve local governance and decentralization and local government bodies, to address trafficking in persons. These are some of our democracy and governance programs that we support. Total for last year, around $6–7 million of our $180 million budget. We also have more than $17 million that we provided in 2011 to address climate change and natural resource management. We were very proud to join with the government of Bangladesh and other development partners in the Bangladesh Climate Change Resilient Fund. We provided an initial $9 million to that fund this year. And we also have programs to support 25 of the 35 protected areas in Bangladesh for forests and wetlands, to conserve them and to involve the communities in the proper management of these national parks. So overall, about $17 million that we provide for environment, natural resource management, and to address climate change. And finally, we have a small, about $4 million basic education program that we work with preschool education. We fund System Poor, and I'm sure everybody's seen our System Poor episodes. They're very popular, and we're very proud of them. More than 9 million viewers for every new episode. So this is the comprehensive program that USAID has.
The non-government organization, NGO, they are the principal partner of USAID.
Not the only partners, but we support government programs directly.
Yeah.
We support local non-government organizations. We also bring in expertise from the United States, and we also support international organizations that do good work in Bangladesh, like FAO,
Yeah.
like UNICEF, like the United Nations Development Program, like the World Bank.
Okay.
We are very donor-aligned, as I mentioned.
So you are helping a lot, as you said, and you are working for the poverty reduction of Bangladesh and to increase the people living standard and to ensure health facilities and all these things. So do you think Bangladesh is on right track to build a poverty-free society?
Well, I think Bangladesh is a model in many ways. Bangladesh is one of the only countries that is on track to meet the Millennium Development Goals
MDG,
for both maternal and child mortality reduction. From 2001 to 2010, Bangladesh achieved a 40% reduction in maternal deaths. Right now, they are at 53 deaths per 1,000 live births in under 5 mortality, very close to the goal of a 3/4 reduction in under 5 deaths from 1990 to 2015, and Bangladesh is very close to that. They've done great work in basic education. Enrollment rates are over 80%, and they're equal for boys and girls. Now, there is a problem with dropouts and secondary education, but this is a big achievement nonetheless. This country is, for this year, self-sufficient in rice. This is a great achievement, and it's the first step to being self-sufficient in food. We think that Bangladesh is a great place to work. There are a lot of challenges here in terms of governance. There's a lot of challenges here in terms of infrastructure, but things can really be achieved here, and this is why we're delighted. I'm delighted to be a part of the development picture in Bangladesh.
Yeah, you are helping for good governance, and you are helping for strengthening democratic process and human rights as well. So what is your overall observation on these issues in Bangladesh?
Well, I think there are some challenges that we all face here in terms of in human rights. We have a program on trafficking in persons, which is one element. We have another program to address domestic violence and violence against women. We are concerned about disappearances. We are concerned about Rohingya refugees. We would like to see very good labor standards, the right to association in terms of the major industries, garment industries, shrimp industries. There's a lot of challenges that we're all working to try to help Bangladesh address, and which are very, very important to address. Bangladesh has made a lot of progress, but there's a lot of work ahead to do.
What inspired you a lot to